Greetings. Israel hit back against Iran in the early hours of yesterday. As the region awoke to a new day, simultaneous explosions in 8 Iranian cities and many places in Syria and Iraq startled everyone. It happened soon after reports surfaced of explosions early on Friday morning in the Iraqi governorate of Babylon, the Swaida governorate in southern Syria, the Baghdad region, and Isfahan, in central Iran. Tensions in the area have increased as a result of the explosions, especially in Iran.
With Israel demonstrating its military capabilities against Iran's defenses, do you think this was a strategic move by Israel to send a message, or could it actually provoke a larger conflict in the region?
Early reports from the area stated that 8 Iranian cities, Tehran, Fordo, Iraq, Natanz, Karg, Ireland, Bushehr, Bandar Abbas, and Isfahan, were the scene of explosions. The facts of the explosions and the attack in Iran are gradually coming to light as each day passes. At first, Israel remained silent about the attacks and refused to take blame for them. But the attack specifics and U.S. officials' remarks made it clear that Israel was the attack's perpetrator. Overnight, Israeli military authorities unequivocally revealed that they had attacked Iran's military air bases, particularly its air defense and radar equipment near its nuclear site, despite the Washington administration's adamant denial that it was aware of the attacks. The devastation of the S-300 and radar systems close to the Iranian nuclear site indicates that Iran is facing extreme difficulties, notwithstanding Iran's denial and disdain for these attacks. Israel's ability to accomplish this without the deployment of fighter jets will have a profound psychological effect on Iran, since the country has been positioning itself as a missile and drone superpower while Israel has struck it with its much-vaunted force. What was the purpose of Israel's retaliatory strike, and to what extent did it increase the likelihood of a full-scale conflict between the two nations? We have the answers to all of your inquisitive queries as well as the most recent information on the region's developments and analysis ready for you. However, before we get started, remember to subscribe to our channel and provide insightful feedback. The Iranian S-300 PMU-2 strategic surface-to-air missile battery near Isfahan was damaged during the Israeli attack, according to recent satellite photos.
Considering Iran's claim that no nuclear facilities were harmed during the strikes, how do you feel this impacts the credibility and reputation of Iran's military strength on the world stage?
The photos showed a potentially damaged 92N6E target engagement radar still mounted on the radar platform. It does indicate, though, that other battery systems have been taken out of the compound. Although the current status and whereabouts of these batteries are unknown, a senior U.S. military source claims that the Israelis struck their target and that the Iranian forces evacuated the batteries from the site due to their total destruction. A top American official verified that Israel launched early morning attacks on Friday morning, specifically targeting the defense system of Iran's nuclear plant in Natanz. The person stated that as part of the defense of the nuclear facility at Natanz, the Israelis were targeting an air defense radar post close to Isfahan. The site was devastated by the attack, according to the preliminary evaluation, although it is not yet finished. The official did point out that the operation was not intended to worsen the situation, but rather to demonstrate to Iran Israel's military might. After last Saturday night's airstrike in Damascus, which was claimed by Israel and resulted in the death of a senior Iranian military officer, Iran launched an aerial bombardment of Israel with ballistic missiles and attack drones. Israel has not claimed responsibility for this attack. The officer was associated with Hezbollah, Iran's proxy that has been attacking Israel nearly every day since the October 7th attack by Hamas. Iran has minimized the impact and significance of the Friday morning assaults, disputed that Israel was the direct target, and claimed that no nuclear facilities were damaged in the hours that followed.
Israel's use of cutting-edge technology such as the F-35 fighter jet contrasts sharply with Iran's older military equipment. How do you think this technological gap might influence the outcome of a potential full-scale war between the two nations?
Additionally, there were no injuries or damage to nuclear sites recorded by the International Atomic Energy Agency. Israel and Iran have been engaged in a covert conflict for many years, with Iran often attacking through proxies and with most of the attacks occurring in silence. This all changed on April 1st, when Iran retaliated for an attack that it said was carried out by Israel and resulted in the deaths of numerous Iranian commanders in Syria. Thus, questions have been raised regarding whether all-out war will be the following phase in response to Israel's response to the missile and drone attack. So how would Israel and Iran fare militarily against each other in a full-scale conflict? In terms of technology, Israeli forces are much ahead of Iranian forces. The United States of America, which has long strived to ensure Israel's advantage as part of its commitment to Israel's security, is partially to blame for this, both militarily and financially. For instance, Israel is the only country in the Middle East to date to have acquired the most costly weaponry ever, the Lockheed Martin F-35 fighter jet. Although Israel has never confirmed having nuclear weapons, it is also thought to have them. Iran has been unable to obtain international military technology due to sanctions and political isolation, which has forced it to create its own armaments, such as the drones and missiles it has fired at Israel. Most of Iran's fighter planes are older versions that were acquired prior to the revolution that took place there in 1979.
Iran's arsenal of ballistic and cruise missiles, along with its use of drones, has been a concern for Israel for years. Given the recent developments, do you believe Iran will adjust its military strategy, or will it continue with its current approach?
An agreement to purchase Russian jets has been made between the present Iranian administration and Russia. However, it is unclear whether the aircraft have been delivered. Iran has long been suspected of attempting to manufacture nuclear weapons through its nuclear program. Iran, however, disputes having such goals. Should its authorities decide to purify the heavy metal to the 90% level required in such weapons, they have enough enriched uranium to make many nuclear bombs. However, it would still have to become proficient in weaponizing the fuel in order to create a working gadget that could strike a far-off target. Although technologically behind, the Iranian military has employed its large arsenal of ballistic and cruise missiles and cheap drones against Israel. Iran has learned Israel's air defenses are tough. Israel's Arrow and David's Sling air defense systems intercept 99% of Iran's 300 drone and missile launches, according to the Israeli military, the US, and regional allies. Iranian defensive armament includes surface-to-air missile systems and cruise missiles like Russia's S-300 and the domestically built Arman anti-ballistic missile system. Today's attack showed Iran's air defenses' unreliability. 3 UAVs were shot down by Iranian air defenses, but how were they missed until they arrived? Since asymmetric warfare lets Iran project power, it may prefer it to outright battle with Israel.
Cyber warfare has become a crucial component in the conflict between Israel and Iran. How do you see this invisible frontier shaping the future of their engagements?
Iranian and Israeli cyber warfare capabilities are shared. Over 10 years ago, Israeli and American virus called Stuxnet invaded an Iranian nuclear enrichment facility. According to a U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency assessment, Iran can conduct information operations and catastrophic cyber attacks on government and business networks worldwide. Iran's cyber attacks try to hack the system. According to the Council on Foreign Relations, 2 Israeli regions are getting water and computers. Which nations would back each side in an all-out war after an Israeli attack? Iran's main allies in Yemen, Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon are the Houthi rebels, which it funds, equips, and trains. Hezbollah, which fired missiles at Israeli targets during the Iranian strike, might lead a full-scale war. Since the October confrontation with Iran-backed Hamas, Hezbollah has actively skirmished with Israel and fired missiles, mortars, and rockets into northern Israel. Israel estimates Hezbollah has 70,000 rockets and missiles, including precision-guided and long-range weapons. Russia, Iran's longtime friend, will also provide extensive aid. As shown Saturday night, Jordan, the US, the UK, and France will back Israel. The US military has sent more troops to the area, especially since hostilities have escalated.
In light of the complex alliances in the region, which nations do you think would openly support either Israel or Iran in an all-out war? And why do you think they would choose to do so?
An Israeli-Iranian war would challenge many regional nations. For Arab nations, and Israel signed the Abraham Accords in 2020. Other than Jordan, no Arab state would help Israel in a fight with any Muslim nation, let alone a powerful one like Iran. Their mistrust of Iran united them. What do you think? Tell us in the comments. Enable notifications and subscribe to our channel to receive video updates. Thank you for your interest. Let's collaborate.
Thank you for watching the full video. We are Rio G Media. Our only job is to keep our finger on the pulse of the war. Please write in the comments if you have thoughts on the questions we ask. If you want to support us, just subscribe and like the video.